You are now tuned in to the GNWY podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the GNWY podcast, and we are super excited to have this guest in here. She's not a guest. She is a team member of GNWY, baby. Okay,
That's
if
right,
you
baby.
can one time make some noise for my girl, KiKi, everybody. Okay, yeah. I saw, dude. Yeah. It is so good to have you in the freaking building.
Oh,
Yes.
we love it here.
Are
This is
you,
one of my favorite spaces.
for one, it's been raining for at least a week straight.
I swam here.
It's wet?
I swam here.
You swam here. I
did.
thought you said it's whamware.
Wham! Insert.
Whammo! Did you ever used to watch the commercials for like lawn
ShamWow?
darts?
Lawn darts.
Anyways,
How old are you?
welcome to the podcast. Okay,
Thank
I feel
you
like
for
you don't
having
need
me.
a welcome or introduction or
Here I
anything
am.
because you are on everything of Generation Y. Okay,
Well, that would make a little bit of sense.
of course, yes. Okay, so KiKi, Nakira Everett,
Yeah.
go ahead and for one, did you hear yourself?
I did.
Do you want to know for the people? Do you remember when this was?
I don't remember when it was, but I do remember saying that. I do remember
Okay,
recording it, but
okay.
I don't remember when it was.
Let me tell you when this was. Okay, so it was our first trip to Fresno,
Yes.
and we did it in the van.
yes.
And I was, because I was editing me and Josh's very first
And you recorded it
episode.
downstairs in the hotel.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I need an intro for this.
Yes.
And then I was like, it would be dope to just get a cute girl's voice. And I was like, KiKi,
It's me.
get over
I
here.
actually really do get a million compliments about my voice,
Your
which
voice.
is so crazy.
Yeah, it's just, it sounds precious.
Oh,
okay,
little angel baby.
And then I remember because we recorded it off of my computer.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I threw a blanket over your head, and you said, "I can't do it with anybody in the van." So, oh yeah, get out of here.
Because you
And-
guys make me laugh. Okay, one thing I will say is I am probably one of the giggliest person.
course.
I will laugh at any situation.
Of course,
It might be a trauma response.
could be. Yeah,
Could be a trauma response because I laugh at very inappropriate situations. But you guys,
that's why we get
are
along.
bad, and you know this because we have had many conversations where I'm like, "Don't talk to me if I'm drinking anything." Because I will spit it out.
You are
immediately.
notorious to spitting stuff
comes
out
out
your
of my
nose.
nose.
It is
Oh,
amazing.
it's
Anyways, I threw the
awful.
blanket over your head. You recorded it, and now it's been literally on every podcast.
That's
the beginning of every
crazy.
podcast.
That was.
And you didn't know this?
I didn't.
That's amazing.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. That was at
Wow.
least 3 years ago, 3 or 4
Yeah,
years ago.
3.
Something like that.
2018.
Wild
Aw,
stuff.
Fresno. Now our little babies are graduating.
Graduated. Oh my
All of our little
gosh.
babies are graduating. Our
All of
Michigan
them.
babies, the Fresno babies. You
Yeah.
guys stop getting older. Stop.
Yeah, just stunt your growth. That would be great.
Immediately.
That
Wait,
would be awesome.
that's the opposite of what we
Yeah, that's not what we're
Speak
trying
to
to
them
promote
about.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
live a long life, but don't grow
age
up.
at all. Get bigger, but don't age.
Scary.
Go ahead and get taller and wrinkles. Just don't age a bit. Okay? Yeah.
It's like 17 again, but you're trapped in your body.
Kind of creepy at the same time.
Oh, 100%.
KiKi, I appreciate you coming on this thing for real though.
Thank you, thank you.
You have been a legit major part of Generation Y, literally from the beginning,
The beginning.
the birth, the conception, the thought, the everything.
The everything.
KiKi, you've been
The
a part
first
of that.
breath.
Yeah, the first. Gen Y. I'm here. Yeah, and just. boing. You were there, yes. All different color hairs and everything.
We have seen many
You've
hair
been
colors.
through it.
Oh.
Like your hair.
Both.
Well, I guess both, yeah. We'll get into it.
We'll get
Yes.
into it.
So
That's
for
right.
real, it has been almost 7 years
Yeah.
since you have been a part of Generation Y. And go ahead and tell us why your why was to get a part of Generation Y.
Okay. So, I have been through a lot in my life, as you know.
Yeah.
The viewers may not know.
This is for the viewers. Yeah. So act
but
like I'm a viewer.
Okay.
I don't know you.
I've been through a lot. I had struggled. I was first diagnosed with depression when I was 11.
Yeah.
It comes from like just household trauma, like going through stuff and not really having people to speak into our lives. And then
you needed a GNWY.
I needed a GNWY, and actually something like GNWY came to my school, and that's how I was introduced to the world of assemblies and doing all this stuff and having purpose and speaking into people's lives. And I was like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't think
I
was
wanted to know more about that story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of the fact that like you talk about it at the assemblies quite often, you know what I'm saying, about that experience. But like what was said at that assembly that kind of like sparked something in you, if you remember it?
It wasn't, I can't even tell you anything that was said during the assembly.
Excellent. Just like ours. Kids probably just leave.
Kids are
they
like,
dance really good.
wow, that was real good. That girl was real stylish. Don't ask me what she said, but her makeup was good.
Right. I just feel different.
I just feel better, maybe.
I don't... Maybe.
Maybe I do.
I want to treat people nice now. I don't know why.
I want to treat myself nice.
I don't know why, but
maybe I'm inspired.
There's something in my gut.
The guts.
Oh,
okay,
God.
but I can't. I literally can't tell you anything that anybody that spoke at that assembly said. I do remember them dancing, and I only remember Dana.
Dana, yeah.
Yeah, Dana spotted me in the crowd from like a mile away.
Really?
Grabbed me, yeah.
She grabbed you from the stage?
No, not on stage. It was after.
Oh, okay.
I was like walking away, and she was like, hey you. And I got intimidated because, you know, she's intimidating.
Yeah, she's straightforward for sure. Yeah.
And she was like...
She's like what you are now.
Good.
Sorry, kids. That's amazing.
But she grabbed me.
And y'all didn't know each other before this?
No, we didn't know each other before. And she said, you look so cool. I want to know more about you. Tell me about your life.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Because I was not cool. I did not feel like I was cool. I was struggling in high school. And it wasn't that I didn't have friends. I did. But I also pushed a lot of people away because I was dealing with my own stuff. And
Hey, I heard that.
I still struggle with it.
Yeah.
But I'm a lot better than I was.
Let's go.
Growth. It may have taken a long time.
Yeah.
But we love to see any kind of growth.
Definitely.
Just as long as you're moving forward, you know?
Exactly.
Keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
That's right.
Wow.
But she just wanted to know more about me, and so we got to talking. I told her a little bit about my life, and she was like, I feel like there's more about you that you're not really saying. Why don't you come hang out with us? And she invited me over to come and hang out at the School of Practical Ministry.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where that group was based out of.
Right.
And then I got integrated with them, and really, it was probably the saving point in my life, because I definitely would have ended up in a ditch somewhere the way that I was headed. I was really bad at like just being straightforward and honest. Because your girl was out partying like,
I know
almost every day. I was literally
without explanation. I just sprinkled
just sprinkled on you. You guys, it's maybe raining outside, but it's also raining in here.
Hey, listen, man. We're gonna get a lot off topic with this conversation.
Anyway, so I was a bad kid back then. I was doing drugs.
What was I?
Every day.
No, I'm okay. Yeah, you said because
I said I ended up in a ditch.
Yeah, without any explanation, everybody. I'm a thing. Like, dang, how are you gonna end up in that ditch? I just want to know.
I was also really clumsy. I still am.
Somebody come help me.
Help, please. Put him face down.
Oh my God. Still saying somebody come help me, but nobody can hear.
Bubbling. Water. That might happen.
Oh, that did happen?
No, I've never been in a ditch in my life.
You having a drink? We've already talked about this. If you have a drink, this is going to end up badly. Anyways, it'll be just revenge for what I just did to you.
Period.
So, so that was your saving point. You got into School of Practical Minute, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And then from there, you started to see in this world of assemblies. Yes.
Yes, because actually they signed me out of school a couple times.
Perfect.
And I went with them.
We need to
other
start doing
schools.
that.
We have.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out to Abby and Charlie.
Oh yeah. We did do that.
We did do that.
That was
That was really. I really loved Shakota.
Oh yeah.
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 Like, where'd we go?
Too many schools.
Yeah, we do be doing a lot of schools.
So they signed you out, and then you just traveled with them.
Yeah, a few times, and then they offered an internship program, and I did that, and it was really great to see. That was the first like real experience I saw in having family that's not your blood.
Right.
Because people cared about me, and I didn't think that could happen because I'd been told my whole life that, this is what family is everything. Yeah. This is what you have. Like, there's nobody else out there is going to care for you like we do.
Right.
When I wasn't really being cared for. The exact opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really great.
Isn't that crazy how parents do that sometimes? It's like a manipulation way to think that nothing is good outside of here.
Yes.
It's like Bobby Boucher.
She's the devil,
She's
Bobby.
the devil.
The devil, Bobby.
But yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so then you created a whole new family outside of your family.
Yeah.
And then what did you learn from that whole experience?
I learned a lot of compassion for other people. I think that's where I really learned more about like my empathy.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I had guarded for so long. I didn't trust getting close to people. And I learned how to really see like people's potential.
Yeah.
Because you would meet all these kids that are going through all these woes, but they have all these dreams and aspirations. And I'm like, you can still do that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I didn't believe that for
You're
myself.
Trying to figure it out. You're right.
I didn't. Yeah. I could see it in other people, but like for me, I was like, I'll figure it out eventually. Maybe.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So then pushing people away, that's what even you were doing at the time.
Oh, yeah.
But then what if you... Okay, we'll finish your story first. And then we'll get into the whole mental health stuff. Uh-huh. So you moving on, going through all that kind of stuff. And then did you graduate from that? Or what did you do from there?
Well, yeah. Actually, so the internship was really a lot of fun. And you actually still have this connect, that guy that does the limousines. So we knew him back then. Okay. And the big prize at the end of the internship was we had groups. We were all separated in groups and we earned points. And whoever got the most points got to go to dinner in a limo.
Really?
And my team won.
Of course. Shout out. What was your team
Rocco
name?
was actually on that team.
Okay. Yes. Let's go, Rocco. Yeah. What was your team name?
Don't ask me.
That's the name?
2008.
Donut Ask Me?
Oh, it should have been.
That would have been amazing. Don't ask me.
Don't ask me.
Okay, cool. So graduated, boom. What? And then how did we meet? That's what I'm trying to remember.
So you and I actually met in Florida.
At a wedding.
Okay. Yeah, you came back to the place that I stayed.
A stud, dude.
No, the place that I stayed at, which was really cool. It was
I still
couch
don't
surfing.
Remember that.
Yeah, it was.
It was the night, like not a reception.
It was after the reception. We went back to the place that I was staying.
The house.
Yeah. Shout out to Bob Most in Melbourne, Florida. Thank you for letting me stay in your McMansion for free. Wow. It was dope.
Shout it out. Yeah, definitely. So I really don't even remember like meeting though. What were we doing?
We were just hanging out. He had a pool table. There was that little hot tub. Okay. But mostly we hung around that. Stop.
We catch each other doing the best stuff. Pool table.
We hung around the table and we all talked.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Got you. Okay. And then from there, because there was that transition between...
From there, Joel,
right,
talked to me about Project Elevate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I linked up with you guys.
Right.
We went through a lot of skits and choreo and all that stuff. And then we went to Stigler.
Stigler, we were GNWY though.
No, this was
the first time.
The first time
okay.
when we went in my car and it caught on fire.
Now that was the best time ever. Explain that.
Okay, you guys. This was like
Story time with
so
KiKi.
I like this is my first like true impression of Jordan.
First impression of Jordan.
Yeah,
yes.
no. I mean, well, I met you before at the wedding.
So then this shouldn't have
But I was
been
like, this
a
guy's really
deciding
cool.
factor.
Okay, yes it should. Here's why. Okay. We were driving home in my Kia Rondo. Okay, it's like almost like a van, but not. It's like a van SUV. And we loaded that mug. It was me, you, Kelsey Stumbling Bear, Joel Stumbling Bear, and Junior Stumbling Bear.
All the stumbling bears.
Yeah.
It was a pack of wolves in there. 5.
5 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's packed out,
Yeah.
right? And we had
To the
all the
max.
equipment in the back.
Yeah.
And all of the merch in the back.
Yeah.
My poor car could not handle it. I remember Joel was driving home because I was tired of driving. I didn't want to drive anymore. And so I was sitting next to him, and he goes, Kiki, your gas pedal is no longer working. And I said, shut up, Joel. You're not funny, because Joel likes to play games.
Of course.
He likes to make jokes. He's very funny.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'm going to pull off to the side. I was like, okay. And then you were just off.
I was
in
right in the
world.
middle.
Yeah.
I was right in the middle, yeah.
And you were just like, huh? Looking around. We had just stopped at the gas station. We just got like drinks and like little snackies to drive home because it's like an hour and a half.
Yep.
And we pull off. We open up the hood of my car, and then there's a fire. My engine is on fire. So Joel's like, the car's on fire. And so I'm like, frick. What do I do? I don't have an extinguisher. Like, what do you do for car fires? And where is there a fire station that's even close that's going to make it here?
Right in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, it's right before we got
casino,
to
though.
Yeah, the Golden Pony.
It's the best place to get an extinguisher.
Stay golden, pony boy. You know
Of
what I'm
course,
saying?
yeah.
And we all start throwing our drinks.
I just remember the sheer panic of everybody because everybody's just like grabbing everything and just shing. And I'm sitting there kind of
Junior
thinking.
runs to the back and he's throwing things out of the back of the car. And I just remember seeing them roll down that little hill.
Yes.
And I was like, this is so dramatic. I was like, how is
And
this
everybody's
happening to me?
dousing the thing with their drinks.
With their drinks.
Yeah.
And Junior takes off his shirt and he's like whipping that thing.
And in it.
Just trying to beat it out.
Think of a stumbling bear
And
just
then
whipping it.
The fire's still going. We're looking around for something
More
to
liquid.
else to use. Here's Jordan Miller with a little tea. And he's holding it exactly like this.
Just
And we look
watching
at him.
the chaos go on.
We look at him. We're like, Jordan, put your drink in there. He's like, I haven't even opened it. I was like, this guy.
It's my favorite.
The nerve.
It was my favorite sweet tea.
Yeah, Red Diamond.
I love sweet.
I love sweat
I love me
tea.
some sweat tea.
What?
Drip, drip.
Came through dripping.
Sweat.
Yeah, but he refused. Did not.
That one.
Even after we called him out. Even
one-
after we called him out on it, he did
That
not.
one bottle of sweet tea is not gonna do anything if it's still ablaze.
It was
What are you gonna do?
The point of it. Because while everybody else is trying, you're just like,
I was tossing stuff out because apparently that was the move. Oh my goodness.
So then Junior just obliterates it with his muscles and beating it out with his sweatshirt. And then we walk up to the casino to call somebody to get us.
Yeah, that was amazing. So from there, we have transitioned.
Right after that was when that ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's when that project ended.
Yep.
And then
that project. Yeah. Yep.
That's when it ended, and we were like, "Well, what do we do?"
Yep.
They're
And
still
so
in.
you and I sitting there thinking, well, should we still impact some kids?
Yeah.
Or do we just let everything fizzle just like that fire did and that poor car? R.I.P.
R.I.P.
So that's where the whole birth of Generation Y came from, is that fire.
That fire.
It lit a fire in us.
It was born out of the fire. Risen out of the flames.
You were just merely in the dark. I was born from it. That was pretty good, huh?
That was good.
You were born in it. Oh, Stuart can do that one pretty good. Excellent.
You be channeling Bane?
Yes. But for real, that was a pivotal moment.
It was.
And then whenever that whole thing turned, we turned into Generation Y because I don't remember where I was. Anyway, I just felt like an impression for this name, Generation Y. I was just joking around about it because, for one, it was just a letter. It's already a thing. And then we're like, why?
I
Your
just remember
purpose.
you getting so excited in that little thing you do, that little pacing thing. Like, yes. So excited.
Not a whole lot of people see that.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things that you do. Because I know that's a solid idea for you.
Because when things just start connecting and clicking, it's just like boom, boom, boom.
It's like
you
there's
know what I'm
too
saying?
much excitement.
Too much excitement. I gotta pace it out. Exactly. So that's where. So what made you want to continue? Because you already went through 2 different groups, right?
Yeah,
so
I have seen this whole transition happen.
So what made you want to continue on with this whole Generation Y thing? WHY.
Despite all the stuff that happened with all of that didn't matter. What mattered is that there was still kids out there who needed somebody to intercept their path of life, to like at least get them to pause for a moment to think about what's happening, and if they really want to make a change, because that's what I needed. Like, I was perfectly content with spiraling out of control. I had face down in a dish somewhere. I was just ready to go.
Someone help me. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And but if it wasn't for somebody like having me stop and really take a look, I'm a boss bitter. Sorry. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Drake song.
I just wanted you to finish it. Yeah.
Take a look. Hey. Anyways, I wouldn't have recognized that I had purpose or passion. I wouldn't have even thought that there was more for me out there.
Yeah.
Because I had been told otherwise my whole life.
Right.
And I know that there are kids out there who experience the same thing. I mean, science shows that. All the science. I only believe in science, which is true. I do. I am very big on quantifiable facts, like things that science proves it makes sense logically.
Logic, yes.
And science has shown that kids are going through it.
Yeah.
Like we talk about it at our assembly, is that coming out of the pandemic, Oklahoma is 3rd in teen depressive episodes right now.
And then 6th in suicide.
Yeah, 6th in suicide.
Wild.
Which is crazy because it used to be
3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
wild stuff.
Which is also crazy to think about, that since we've been doing it, the statistics has changed. So quantifiably, we've been making a difference.
I would like to think that we were a part of that difference.
In my head, I'm going to say that we have actually done this for something.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
We got Danny dancing in the background for that one, yes.
Like, let's go.
Unless she just wants the blood flow to her knees, yes. Hey, let's get it.
Don't go too low. You won't be able to get up, girl. My sister has a busted knee right now, okay?
That's what's up.
And I've seen her get stuck. It's very funny. But we can't have that here. Well, we can.
Hold her up. Oh my gosh. But for real though, it is, I really think that it is dope, because I was talking to a board member about that the other day and then he kind of pointed that out too. And then he was like,
Chad?
No, it's
Chad, I miss you. If you're watching this.
I don't remember who it was. Anyways, but he was saying, he was like, I mean, out of the 6 years, you got to think about y'all, the statistics changed.
You having a stroke?
Hopefully, that would make a lot more sense.
Toast? Yes.
You making some? Can you make me some burnt toast, please? But for real, it would be that like logistical thought that we played a role in, Oklahoma coming down in that, high statistics. So that is pretty dope.
I know.
And so
nice.
if we think about that, we should start saying, we'll put it on our website. We will bring your statistic down. Hopefully in 6 years.
And we will also have to move there and actually do some good work because we have gone to so many schools.
So many. And that brings us to the next thing. What is your most memorable school that you can remember? No. Because you could say school, and then you could say school experience, and then you could say student, and then there's okay. So let me ask you, what is
here in Oklahoma?
No, anywhere. We'll do anywhere.
Okay.
And then we'll do trip.
Okay. Okay. Hands down, the most
hands up. I'm playing.
Scary. The most memorable school assembly we ever did was when we went to Michigan the day that the CDC shut down school assemblies.
Yeah. 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
It was the first week of
Tell them
March.
what happened.
Yeah. So COVID had just started popping up.
Literally.
it wasn't like a big deal.
Nothing was shut down.
Nothing was shut. Well, I will say
they were just talking about it.
See, they had just stopped flights from China.
And on the way there, we just got the news that the NBA shut down.
Yeah, because the Utah Jazz came with
to
their
Oklahoma.
funky selves and infected us. So
you nasties.
Don't ever come here again.
Get on out of here.
Get on out. Go on, get. But they came, and that was when we were driving up there.
Yeah.
And we said, wouldn't it be funny if we brought it with us? And then the next day, the CDC said, shut it down.
And the governor of Michigan was talking about shutting the border, so we almost got trapped in Michigan. That was nuts.
That was scary. You're like, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here.
Go tonight. Yeah.
And we went from doing 2 1-hour assemblies to 6
20
minute assemblies back to back to back to back to back.
Nuts.
Bro, I've never been more tired in my whole life. I just remember they brought us pizza. I was too tired to chew. I remember
just mid pepperoni
laying down. I remember taking a bite and going,
just
why am I doing this? It's just in my mouth.
Just a pancake on your tongue.
Where'd the pancake come from? I was eating pizza.
Well, let's talk about a little disc of the pepperonis. That's a crazy
pepperoni pancake.
Yep, that was a crazy one.
That's probably the most memorable one. But I will say, yes, I will say that it didn't matter whether it was an hour or 20 minutes. We were still able to really impact those students because those students came up to us afterwards and told us about how insightful that was and how it gave them a different perspective. And then we had that lock in, and a lot of those students came in. We were able to hear more of their stories.
Pack that thing out.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
That thing is probably only built for probably 200. We've got 400 to 600 students in that one room.
That was nut. That was funky.
It smelled like Body Axe spray.
No, it didn't. It smelled a lot like onions.
And the lack of Body Axe spray.
The lack of Body Axe spray.
That was amazing. So would that blend into your favorite trip too?
No.
What's your favorite trip?
My favorite trip of all time.
All time.
Is Fresno.
Which
the second one.
Second one? Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
The second one. It was just a lot. I've never laughed so hard in my life. We got to meet a lot of really cool people. We got to do a lot.
That was the tattoo experience, wasn't it?
Yeah. Shout out to my free people, $50 tattoo. You can tell it was $50.
Prison tats. That's what they were handing out.
It was literally very scary.
That's hilarious.
That's also when we play a game
That's when we started it, isn't it?
We started on that trip. We really went hard in the paint with that game.
Yeah. Tell them about the trip or the game.
The game. So, what are the odds? Is what it's called. What are the odds you do this? And then
everybody should play this game.
Everybody get into it. Life. It is so much fun and also very scary. Depending on what the odds are against.
I took a shower with Tristan based off of that game.
Yes, you did.
That was amazing.
But one of our team members, she got a tattoo on the inside of her lip. And the odds were between 1 and 50. So the game is, you say, what are the odds you do this? You pick a number, you say, or the person that you're daring, they give you the number between 1 and whatever. So they said 1 in 50, and it was Caleb and this other person. And they go, you count down, 3, 2, 1, and then they both say a number. And if it's the same, then they have to do it. And they both said 47. And
47 out of anything?
Anything. 47.
It's the worst number.
And they got a tattoo on the inside of their lip.
At least the dollar signs were the S's were dollar signs.
Yeah, it said boss.
So that's
a dollar sign.
It's a good story for sure.
It is my favorite tattoo that anybody's ever gotten.
That was a very terrifying experience too.
Yeah,
I was not there.
It was you weren't. You left us.
That was not my doing. I did not plan somebody else's haircut during that time, and we only got one vehicle. So
yeah.
Anyways,
we got left in the hood of LA.
I left you with Caleb. You see those guns?
Okay.
Caleb would protect you.
That was back before Caleb really got into working
volleyball.
Bro. Caleb, I support your volleyball dreams.
I support it too. He's really
big.
doing it.
Get in the Olympics, buddy. You can do it.
He can. Anyways.
But no, Caleb is actually really buff now.
He is buff.
He showed me
and
his
I'm proud of him.
at your engagement.
What was that? What was it? He showed me his muscles. Baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's buff. Yeah.
And I was shook.
So that's your favorite school, favorite road trip.
Favorite road trip.
What is it your favorite, like, I would say, like story from a student?
Oh, my favorite story from a student.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to think about that one.
That's okay.
Because I have a few, so let's come back to that.
So whenever I remember I think it was the first or second time that we were going to Michigan, we picked up Harley and everything.
The first time. Gosh.
It was the first time for GNWY, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember we were driving up there, and you got news about your mom.
Yeah.
And for one, I mean, it was already a long enough road trip, right?
Yeah.
And then, getting that news and that call was very
that was
turning point for you too of your life, right?
Oh my gosh, it was. So, if you don't know this, I talk about it a lot in my stories, but my mom passed away about 4 years ago from cancer.
Yeah.
And it was a really aggressive cancer. It was in her lungs, and it metastasized to her liver. But little did we know, it also had metastasized to her brain. So while we thought that everything was fine at the beginning of the trip, because we always go to Michigan in March. Like, that's always when we go, because they have like a little spring break, beginning of spring break lock-in thing that we do. And I had been getting, the first time that I had a bad phone call, like, I feel like I found out all the news about my mom anytime that we were on a GNWY trip. Like, the first time was when we were in Tahlequah and Sequoia. And then I found out that it was cancer and what stage it was at. And that was devastating. But then my mom had gotten better. She had done so much work and had lots of chemo treatments and did all this stuff. And it was the beginning was the end of February, and we had met with her oncologist, and he was really impressed by her scans. Like, there was nothing left in her lungs or liver, like a tiny little spot. And he was like, I believe that if we just do one more round, she'll be fine. And we were all stoked because she went from having the worst news, saying that she wasn't going to make it out, and then doing a lot better. Right. And then when we were on the trip to Michigan, my mom was my best friend. I talked to her all the time, and I was mad at her because she hadn't called me all week. I was like, what are you doing with your life? Yeah. Like, you have nothing else to do but be my mom. Right, so why aren't you calling and asking me about my trip? Yeah. And so,
you needy child.
Listen, maybe I do like a little bit of attention. I don't know. That's just coming from being a Leo and from being the oldest child.
Jesus, y'all Leos is crazy.
We just love ourselves. Mm-hmm. And, but my mom really, like, I was so integrated with my mom because my mom was such a pivotal point in my mental health. Like, she's the one that took me in when I was 11 and I had my first suicide attempt and got me.
Your mom, what do you mean?
Like, she took
you in?
Well, took me in to go see a psychologist.
Okay, I was about to say, I was confused. I was like, haven't you always been with your mom?
Yes.
Since the womb?
Since I escaped the womb, yep.
Escaped?
Yeah, I ran out of that mug.
All right, boys, we're about to blow this joint.
Exactly. My birth was very much an action movie.
Excellent. As it should be, yeah.
And, but she really was the one who always spoke life into me. Yeah. Like, she had never said anything bad about me. Like, there was never a time where she was too frustrated or too mad to, like, love me. Yeah. When that was the exact opposite for my dad. So she was my best friend, was mad at her for not asking me about my trip. So I call her, and she's at my aunt's house. We had moved her to my aunt's house because it was, my aunt was at home and could watch over her because everybody else was working. Right. And when I called her, she didn't remember who I was. Like, she kept calling me by my sister's name. And I was like, no, it's Kira. And she was like, who? And I was like, excuse me? Like, I am your firstborn. Why don't you remember me? And I just knew that something was not right. And my aunt came on the phone, and she really tried to calm me down. She's like, I'm sure that your mom remembers you. Like, she's been acting a little weird. So when you get here, we'll figure everything out. And that was, like, the beginning of the end. Because it turns out that, like we said, all the cancer looked like it was gone, but it had all moved to her brain. But the oncologist didn't want to do a full body scan because she had a shunt placed in her brain from a car accident that we were in 2011. And those are controlled with magnets, and MRI is a giant magnet, and it can affect that. But I was like, then you can just change it back with another magnet. Like, what the heck? Yeah, so I went from the beginning of the month thinking that she was going to recover to her passing at the very end of the month. So all that happened in the matter of what, like 2 weeks? Yeah, so we took her in. She was in there for a week. They couldn't understand what was happening. The beginning of the week, she was fine and talking. We were goofing around and being silly. And then she started, like, mumbling, like her words weren't making sense. And I remember her saying something which is, like, so terrifying to me. Like, my biggest fear is being trapped in my own body and not being able to communicate my needs. Like, that is so scary to me. And that's what was happening to her. She couldn't say what she needed. She said, my mouth isn't saying what my brain wants it to. And I was like, wow, okay. And then I went outside and I cried, came back in, and it was like go time from there. Yeah. We had to make some big decisions, and my mom had always said that she didn't want to live a life like as a vegetable, so she had to be on life support. That wasn't for her. Yeah. So things just progressed naturally, and she stopped talking at the beginning of the week. The doctor said, so before that, he was like, she'll have about 2 months, we think. Because that's when they did the scan, they found the 80 tumors. They were like, there's something we can do if we do
80?
80.
Jeez.
80, like, tiny little tumors. Just lit up like a Christmas tree in there. And if they did anything, her brain would be Swiss cheese, like, at that point. And it would diminish her quality of life, and we didn't want that. And so she stopped talking, then she stopped eating, then she wasn't being roused. So, like, any, like, hard pressure to her sternum, it's called a sterno rub, and that, like, usually wakes people when they're more alert, but she was just passed out the whole time. So the doctor said that if she's like this, it'll be probably about a week before she goes, because we don't do any life-saving procedures. And she went to sleep, and about 52 hours later, she passed away.
Jeez.
Which was crazy. That whole morning was just wild to me. Like, as much as I believe in science, I can't say that there isn't something just because of that experience. Because my mom, who was in a coma, like, not being roused, had horrible agonal breathing, was just basically brain dead, is what the doctor said. Started talking right before she passed. Like, was like saying that she was greeting her mom and her dad, and said a couple other people, got a big smile on her face, and then passed. But and that blew my mind away. Yeah, because that scientifically that shouldn't happen, and I couldn't understand it. But it was also a really peaceful moment. I don't think I've ever felt like such a calming peace in my life than that moment. Yeah. Which is crazy, because that's also the moment when, like, my world just flipped. Yeah. You would think I would be more distraught or crazy, and I was, but it wasn't as big as I expected it to be. Yeah.
And in that moment, I mean, like, obviously you're going through a lot. You're having to make decisions. You and your family kind of have to legit scramble and figure
because
everything
my
out.
aunts were in town. Her family came out because we're originally from California.
Right.
My aunts flew in, and my uncle came down. He lives in Kansas now, and their flight was leaving on Wednesday, and she passed on a Saturday. The funeral home's closed on Sunday. Dang. So we couldn't meet with them on Monday. So we met with them Monday and then had the funeral Tuesday.
It's crazy.
It was so nuts.
That's crazy.
It was just executive decision after executive decision. There's no time for like
thinking,
processing any feelings, doing any thinking.
Right.
I would just and I think that's, while it's also like, I think that's probably one of my biggest strengths, is that I'm really calm in high stress situations like that, because I know that things need to get done. Yeah. And so I'm able just to do that, and push like whatever my feelings are aside to make sure that people are taken care of. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. And so, like, even you legit, like, because we had, I think, an assembly the next week or two or something like that.
Yeah, it was prom. It was prom for Tahlequah. Oh. It was Tahlequah's prom, and we did it that Saturday. Oh. Yeah.
I thought it was because we did Canton or something like that right after, and you legit came and did an assembly like right after that too. Yeah.
Was it that Wednesday? I don't remember.
I don't think it wasn't that Wednesday, because they were. I mean,
Well, I know that Tahlequah's prom was right then. Maybe. And then maybe Canton was the week after. Yeah.
Maybe. No, we did Tahlequah's prom in 17, I thought.
No, it was 18.
18?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was 18. I remember because a Brooks and Dunn song played at their prom, and I had to leave.
Gotcha.
Cried. Somebody asked me to dance, and I said, I can't. I went and cried.
Right. Yeah. That's the crazy thing about like Generation Y and doing what we're doing now, and I don't think a whole lot of people really understand that. Like, we still deal with life. You know what I'm saying? Like, as motivational speakers, as, you know, people that are trying to influence people and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like, you know, they don't think about that. They think that we kind of go into each school like we dealt with stuff, but we're fine now. You know what I'm saying? But like I mean, we all dealt with stuff too, even, you know, up to this point. But like, you know, even during those times, like you legit just lost your mom, going up on stage, still holding it together, and still telling your story, and then telling your current story at the time. It was like stupid powerful, you know?
Yeah, well, I think that's so important.
What is that like? What was that mindset like though for you?
Yeah, I think that is probably one of the biggest things you can do if you are a motivational speaker, if you are speaking to anybody's life, is authenticity. Okay, we see enough of celebrities out there who want to motivate you to have the perfect life that advertisers want you to have and what they're paid to tell you to have. And they make it sound like everything's okay and their life isn't crazy. But if you truly want to change somebody or to really help them, is to be honest with what you're going through and not acting like you have it together.
Right.
I knew that I couldn't fake and I couldn't lie and act like my life was fine. And that, you know, if you do these steps, you too can like be great.
Right.
I had to be real and say, I'm hurting right now. And I recognize like how my mental health is right now. And I know that I can't do this alone.
Yeah.
And I can't sit here and act like I'm okay. So I'm going to talk to these students. And that really like helped a lot with my mental health. That really helped with like my healing process, because I was able to talk through it and to talk through my feelings and not really, I think that truly was the turning point in like pushing people away and like really healing that part of my life, because I could have like secluded myself and become a hermit. Like I could have just ran away from like my purpose and my calling and been like, I don't have any more motivation, I don't feel like doing it. But if people decided to not do things because they didn't feel like doing it every day, then the world would stop, you know? So sometimes you have to do hard things that you don't want to do to help with healing or to keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward still there, man. That's crazy. Wasn't that like our first like theme or something?
Yes, it was.
Keep moving forward, or moving forward.
Yeah, keep moving forward.
Yeah, that was wild. But I think that is dope though. You know, like I feel like out of well, you and I both have definitely gone through some major things, you know, through this whole process and stuff. So.
I feel if you have any kind of big calling on your life, if you have any sort of big dreams, whatever is out there is going to try to stop you.
The dark of the world.
The darkness of the world is going to snuff you out.
Yeah.
Because being a light isn't natural. It's not. And that's why it's so much easier to stay in bed whenever you're depressed, or to shy away from people or to push them away. Because it's not natural to have people surround you. But it is necessary. You can't do life alone.
Definitely. Isn't that's crazy that like naturally our bodies just want to be still. But like there's something that is inside of all of us that like thinks, even if that thought is there, that like you think that there's something bigger out there, or like something to do or accomplish, or a mission to achieve or something like that. Like that's the light that we're trying to inspire somebody else. And, you know, every school that we go to and all that kind of stuff, that's the light that we're trying to spark and be like, you know what, that's inside of you. So figure out what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that type of stuff is super dope. And I wish that maybe we did like a whole podcast where it's like everybody on the team is like telling, hey, this is what I went through. But it's like, obviously that's not. Airing out our stuff is not the best laundry, sometimes. But, you know what I'm saying? Just like, but them to understand that like we don't always have the best days. We don't always have the best seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us like legit like gone through some really rough things and still had to go up on stage and be like, you got it. You can do it. you can overcome it.
That's
you can
true.
come out of this darkness. Because I feel like, in a sense, it like you were saying, it helped us go through that dark time too. You know what I'm saying? You're about to talk. So
no, I truly believe that. Oh, I was thinking because you said seasons, so that is like a big hot button word. Like
it is.
Yes,
Seasons.
everybody loves to say, "I'm in this season. I'm in this season. I'm in this season."
Yeah.
But I heard something the other day that said that the thing about seasons is
They change.
No, they come back.
They come back.
And I'm a firm believer that if you speak something over your life, that's it. Like, you will attract whatever that is.
That's real.
So that is something that I'm looking to take out of my vocabulary. I'm no longer going to say that I'm in a season.
So then what would the word be?
grieving.
What would be the change?
Right now.
I'm in it right now?
Right now, I'm this. Right now.
Right.
Because that's true. It's what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
I won't always be this.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to claim that it's going to come back. I
like that about you.
Oh, shout out, Dom.
That's what's up. I like that. I'm this right now.
Yeah.
But not forever.
But not forever.
That's real. We just, I mean, a podcast that we're going to be dropping on Thursday is with Brittany from Mercantile.
I love her.
Sorry,
Brittany.
You know,
sorry I yelled at you.
No, it's fine. I liked it. But yeah, she was saying that like feelings aren't forever, and she was saying that, and I feel like even thinking about whenever you're in high school or something, you legit think that like what happens right now is gonna last the rest of your life.
Why do we think that though?
I don't know. As a kid, I mean, I don't think that our brains fully haven't developed. We haven't experienced a lot, so it's like what we experienced at that time, we're thinking is probably gonna last forever.
But you're taught in high school that whatever you do then is going to make or break your future. Constantly. Like, if you don't have good grades, you're not going to get into a good college, and you're not going to get a good job.
Yeah. I remember my fifth grade teacher saying that, and it seemed like every English teacher would always say the next grade, like whatever next grade it is, like if you're sixth grade, they're like, well, sixth grade, they're going to eat you for lunch.
Yes.
And that always like
I was
screwed
always
up my
scared.
mind. I was like, are they like legit cannibals? I don't want to go there. Golly.
I was like, well, I guess I already know I'm going to fail.
Failed.
Just told me that I'm
Isn't
gonna
that like, why do your teachers implement fear in your life just to be like, hey, you should do good in school, but be careful those sixth graders. They'll eat you for lunch.
Now, I will say that not our teachers definitely were like that. Teachers now are not like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Why? Not. Because they're learning about how that affects kids' mental health.
And in their future. Yeah, definitely. I think so too.
Yes, there is a big.
Well, it's because most of us are teachers now.
Yes, because we realized that was jacked up.
Right. Like, dang, I don't want to be told that no more.
No, and why? Like, if you didn't like it, then why would you do it to somebody else?
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think teachers are definitely doing a great job nowadays. And like, for one, the circumstances that they have to deal with, changing all the time. Yeah. Like with the rules and regulations and all the things. But it's like
being underfunded. Shout out to our teachers.
Right. Shout out to them. Yeah.
Government, get your stuff together and pay our teachers more. They are literally shaping the minds of the next generation. These are people that are going to lead us in the future. So why wouldn't you pay them as much as you pay somebody who entertains somebody? Why?
Say it.
Sorry.
KiKi for president.
No.
2023. Let's do it.
The next election is 2024.
Earlier the better. That's what I always say.
I won't
get you in there so you can change it.
I won't be old enough to run.
You won't be old enough. You got to be 35.
Yeah.
Dang.
I know.
Earlier the better. That's what I always say. Dang. No, it's real though. I mean, I think that even us being in the world of schools, it's really dope to like impact students and everything. But it's even more dope whenever you impact a teacher.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Like that feeling is so dope.
The last assembly we had.
Clinton.
Yeah. Yes. So Clinton was rowdy. I'll just say that. Clinton was rowdy. It's the end of the school year. Kids are ready to go. There was a whole track and field meet happening outside. There was a lot going on. And these kids were
we didn't know what we were a part of.
Oh, it was... I don't know.
And that's the funny thing. Like, let's get this out of the way too. A lot of people don't even know like the backside of what we go through whenever we get booked for a school. Yes. And so like there can be times we will show up to a school ready to do, you know, the thing that we're asked to do, but then they will change morning of, or they will change our time, or they'll change something about it. Like,
you can't talk about this. You can't talk about this. I'm like, this is literally advertised on our website. Right. This is exactly what we talk about. These are things that we have to talk about.
Right.
And if you want it to change, it needs to be talked about.
At least communicate it. You can't or like those teachers topics. That are be like, you know, our students, they like to go in the bathroom and vape all the time. Can you talk about no vaping? Can you do that? Those type of things are funny to me whenever they throw another subject on you or something.
Listen, anyways, as much as like I want to do that, I also want to say I don't care about that. I don't. In the light of everything that we're really working towards.
About kids
literally taking their own lives. Yes. Kids being bullied to the point of taking their own lives. Right. We're seeing it now with mental health and all these school shootings. What is vaping going to do? That's what you want to tackle right now?
Right.
Vaping?
Vaping. Yeah, it's wild. But you said talking about Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton. Oh, bro. You know, we had to stop swag surf.
I do know, yeah.
I had to stop swag surf because kids were literally throwing objects at other kids while we're trying to do this. So I was like, hey, we're going to stop. Knock it off. Like, why would you do that? And they stopped. Right. But what I'm saying this because we're talking about impacting teachers. Yeah. The principal came down afterwards, and she was like, I just want to say thank you so much for like being brave enough to call kids out when they do this, because we can try to correct kids' behaviors all the time and they're going to have some sort of thought towards it because they're the teachers.
They're the teachers, yeah.
I don't have to listen to you kind of attitude, but people who they look up to is different. And that you doing that like gave me just the best feeling. And she hugged me and then she took a picture with me and I was so confused. I was like, wow, that's so nice.
I love you so much. You're my influence.
I was like, what? Just for roasting some kids?
She probably pushed some kids out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Just to come talk to you. She's like, forget these kids. You see bodies just flying. Her body just come out of the crowd.
Totally, no, she was the bully.
Oh my gosh. Even during like even the beginning of that whole assembly, like I went over to like the group of teachers that were off to the side. I think it was like while you were talking, and there was kids still going nuts, right? And then I walked over to the teachers and I was like, hey, it'd be great if you could sit with your kids. And they were like, they looked at me like all confused, and then I was like, it'd be great so they could see, you know, the leadership. Yeah. Maybe like lead and sit with them and be a part. And then they're like, nah,
I'm taking a break. This is it's like we're babysitters.
Bruh, yo.
It's like they get to like which like shout out teachers. I am not saying that your job isn't that hard because I know that it is.
Right.
I only know this by very minuscule. I subbed for a little bit. I see it, but not on your level at all.
Right.
But you cannot treat, especially like what we talk about, that this is something to be lax in because it's something that also affects you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, because you talk about it in your speech about how there's kids on the internet who make these fake pages just to go after other kids.
Right.
And that it's been seen that teachers do the same thing. Right. Which is disgusting. Disgusting. It was one of us.
It is wild though, because you see teachers, well, I mean, just adults in general, you know, outside, inside of school, but like acting like kids. And I feel like I wish that kids would even understand that concept.
Yeah.
Adults are just older yous. They do the same thing.
Yes.
Just in a adult way.
I literally had that thought the other day. This is going to sound so crazy. But I was like, when am I going to like grown-up things?
When are you gonna like grown-up things?
Yes.
Like what?
Like, I always thought as a
Like-
kid that grown-ups had their stuff together.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they were really smart about, like, living life
Nah.
and taxes. Let me tell you about how I was so pressed and stressed on the phone with the IRS and thinking that I needed an adult to tell me what the frick was going on. But I'm the adult.
You are the adult, yeah.
So I was like, when do I feel like actually grown up? When I'm like, wow, I'm self-sufficient.
I
can
think
handle this.
you start to feel adult-ish whenever you make the adult and right decision. That's what it is. That's what it feels like. Because I remember that feeling. I was doing I can't remember what I was doing. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was saying something and I was like, dang, I feel old. And that's the moment whenever you feel that's an adult thing.
I feel old whenever I look at the gas station and I'm getting like a drink and there's
you
that
look
sign.
at the gas station?
No. There's that sign that says you have to be this old to buy whatever, and it's in the 2000s now.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
God.
That's wild. There's kids out here that don't know anything about like anything that we grew up with.
Yeah. Oh,
it's so sad because their sense of humor low key trash.
Because their sense of humor is built on self-deprecation.
Ours is so funny. I feel like our generation is the funniest generation. I was talking to Stuart about this the other day. I don't know if he's nodding.
Why? Because we had to go through so many traumatic events.
Traumatic events, but
worldwide.
We think about this too. The music that we listen to
changed
darker, way darker than like what's going on now, or even before that. You know, because like the rap back then was all like just dirty, and I'm gonna murder you and blah 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 blah, right?
Okay.
But like now it's like everybody loves everybody, kind of, but I really hate you at the same time. But I'm going to keep it low key, but I'm not gonna
I think now
kind of say
all
it.
Music is about disrespecting women, but that's just me.
Disrespecting women, yes. That's probably a thing too.
That's some hot tea right there.
Hot tea. Drink, yes. Who needs to disrespect these women?
But back then, they were talking about murdering everybody, but now it's like focusing on sex.
Oh yeah, the dirty word, the dirty word. Oh my goodness. So you're also a big advocate for mental health with not even just like Generation Y, but even like the furthering of your knowledge of mental health and everything. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
I'm a big supporter of human rights.
Yeah.
Human rights, because that.
My bad. I was saying mental health, but you want to say, do that too.
Well, that's the basis of good mental health, is being afforded the same rights as everybody else.
Mm.
Like, why? Like, your mental health would be trash if you thought that your government thinks that you're a second-class citizen.
Mm.
And I want to fight for those people.
Mm.
I'm a part of that group. Like, I'm a part of. I'm African American and white and a woman and a part of the LGBTQ. Like, I'm not ever going to say I get discriminated as much as somebody who is African American, because I'm very white passing. Very white passing. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But because of like seeing my dad and his whole side of the family, I've been able to see like how that affects everybody. And I have been called the N-word before, like many times.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt me as much as it would affect somebody else, probably. Because I didn't identify, like, I didn't have any basis to like let that really sink in, you know? So I want to fight for people because I recognize that I have privilege. Yeah. And I recognize that I have a voice and I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't I?
Definitely. That's good. Even so, let's go more on the mental health side. You were talking about like learning about all of those things.
Yeah.
And so, like, did Generation Y and everything that you've been through kind of spur your excitement for learning more about those type of things?
I would say that had always been there. And it wasn't necessarily Generation Y, but it definitely pushes me to do better, be better, and learn more.
Right.
Because as we go on, like, kids go through more than I went through.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, and I want to learn more about,
Back
like...
in the day. That's crazy.
Listen,
now we feel like an adult. There it is.
There it is. There you go.
Right.
And I just want to make sure that I'm on top of, like... all current events, what's going on, different laws that are being passed, how it's affecting like our students, how it's affecting our culture around us, and what that looks like. Definitely.
Yeah. I think that, you know, even through our assemblies and stuff, it's like there is. I think the cool thing about it is we're starting to see a cool change within the school system. With, like, remember the one we did in Cash. And their teacher was talking about their student that they had that was, I think, either tran or pan or whatever.
Yeah.
And then how they're creating that, like, it was Cash because it was right next to the lot. And yeah. And they were talking about how they're creating a group to be able to, and then, like, it's affecting, like, their whole...
What was that school that we went to after we had that 3-day stint in Wilburton, Talihina? What was the last school? Because that's where they had. Was that Cash?
Ketchum? No. It was Cash that we were there because it was the the big little thing. But they were for it. Remember?
Yeah.
You're like, how are you gonna have this 6A school in this 4A town?
I do remember that one, but I also remember the one where we were on the way home.
I don't remember that one.
It was after we stayed in Fort Smith, and it was our last one. It was going to snow that day. That was
so funny.
Yeah. Bro, it was all their school all together. It was like K through 12. That's why their school looked like that. But I thought it was just a high school, and it was a big campus, and this town is tiny. And I was like, how are you going to have a 6A school in this 2-way town?
It's like the quickest bar I've ever heard delivered. And it caught me off guard because I died laughing.
You were like, you cannot say that today. And then you said it.
I should have did what are the odds? I should have did what are the odds for you on that one. 3.
1 and 1.
0.
1.
Oh my gosh! But for real, the I think that it's cool to see, like, schools actually creating a culture, being able to put that in place for people to be accepted and then people to be, like, understood, you know. And then you know, I think, like, it's important, you know, to be able to, you know, just accept people for whatever they're trying to figure out. Like, everybody's figuring out life. Like, that's a crazy age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for everything, just like we were saying at the very beginning of this conversation, is like, you implementing fear into somebody is not going to help them or help, like, change their mind.
It will 100% stunt them.
Right. Exactly. Fear is the, like, lid to somebody's growth. Yes. For sure. And so, like, you know, where are we going to go from here if we're not growing from here? Yeah. And so I think that who put this 6A school for 2A town? I don't know what I said.
Maybe somebody call the ambulance to have on standby because he really could be having a stroke. Maybe you've just been going at this for too long.
Maybe. I think it's just dope though. So, and I start to appreciate, you know, school culture even more so the more that we see it evolve from the time that we first started doing this. Remember. Now I'll go into my favorite one.
Hold on, pause 1 second.
Yeah.
I wanted to speak on something that you said.
Yeah.
Is that the culture of acceptance? Speaking to everybody out there who's listening. Somebody else's life and how they identify themselves and how they live has no effect on you. It is not you who's changing, it's them. Stay in your lane. Moisturize. Keep your lips hydrated. and stay in your lane. Because that's crusty behavior. And we're no longer
I was
accepting
wondering where that was coming from. Wouldn't the punchline was going to be delivered?
Yeah, that's crusty behavior.
Moisturize and lather your lips. What'd you say?
Moisturize and hydrate your lips. Because that's crusty behavior.
How do you hydrate your lips? Just stick your
Chapstick,
lips
dog.
into the water? Just a dunk.
Like those ducks, you know?
Ducks.
Sometimes that Choctaw really slips out. And I think it's been made worse now that I live in Hurrah.
That's what it's called?
No, it's Hera.
Oh, I was about to say. Hurrah.
Yeah! Hurrah!
Hurrah. That's amazing. But, yeah, I'll get into my favorite one. So
please.
let me tell you.
I'm excited.
It's Stigler the second time we went.
Okay. Full disclosure. I
don't think that he would
yeet
follow.
that memory out of my mind because
You did?
it was so traumatic.
I think it was the funniest thing that we've ever been through.
It is the most wild thing.
I think it's dope.
I wouldn't go as far to say dope.
Okay. We've gone through a lot of school experiences for sure. And we should have a whole episode.
This by far takes the cake.
This is the most terrifying. No, I wouldn't say terrifying.
I wouldn't say terrifying.
I
I'd
feel
say
like
terrifying was
sketchy. We'll just say sketchy.
Oh, sketchy for sure. Most terrifying was when anytime we went on that pass between California and Arizona and there's no guardrails and it's like really windy and we're in the trailer and van and it's like shaking.
No. The most terrifying one was
North
North Dakota.
I was gonna say North Dakota.
You were driving at that time.
Yes.
Pitch black, dark.
We'll get
nothing.
back to that.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, we'll
get back to that.
Okay.
But mine is definitely Stigley the second time. So
please
we had to track down a youth official. We'll call him that. A youth official in the town because he jacked my phone. And Nikira, was it your phone or AD's phone? AD's phone is who we were using to track it on my phone.
No.
Doing Find My iPhone.
Was it AD's? I think it was mine because I had no way to call you.
We had
guys.
somebody's phone.
Yeah, you had my phone because I stayed at the hotel in case he came.
With Aaron, yeah.
No, Aaron was with you guys.
Oh,
it was just me.
So maybe it's Aaron's phone. That's what we were doing.
I gave you my phone because I had no way to call you guys if he came back.
Yeah.
Because Aaron had my phone and was.
So yeah, we saw my phone moving on the tracker.
Yes, we used Track My iPhone,
and we were blowing that phone up, and nobody answered. But we tracked it.
Tell them where you tracked it to, though.
It was in
the woods,
busted up fields, and nowhere, Stigler, Oklahoma, and we just see it going down this dirt road. And then I'm driving, and I'm like, is that the youth official's truck? And then AD was like, oh, man, we about to get him today. And then I was like, no way. We pull up behind him, literally maybe less than a car length away from them.
Yeah.
Waving him down.
Yeah.
Doing all the things.
He acts like he can't see you.
Still calling the phone.
Yeah.
Blowing it up. I know my phone's on loud.
Yeah.
So, driving, boom. Whatever. He finally looks, but there was a couple of times he did already look in the rear view and he didn't notice us. Anyway.
I don't know how you can't notice this because they were driving in a big white van.
With the trailer.
Yes, because you said you whipped that thing and it was like,
so I was trying to get
two wheels. It was like a high-speed chase like out of the
I
movie.
was Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel.
If we could just take some of our stories and things that happened to us, I swear it'd be a box office seller.
Bruh.
Top box office.
Top box office.
Bro.
Even everything from start to now. That'd be amazing. Yeah.
That had to be like a two-part
Anyways,
series.
Pulled up to him. He pulls off. I say, hey, I think you got my phone. He says, no. I say, well, we got this tracker. It says it's 200 feet in front of us. And then he's like, let me go look in the tracker. Walks around, and it's like on his floorboard. And this is not something that you accidentally pick up.
No.
Like, it's not like I mistaked it from my phone, put it on my, you know what I'm saying? You already have your phone. You already got 2 phones. How do you act like you got another one? Anyways, it's on the floorboard of his vehicle on the other side. So and then he walks over. He's like, oh, I didn't mean to. I guess I didn't hear it. And then AD calls it again. It's loud.
Yeah, he pings it.
Yeah,
because on Find My iPhone, you can ping it and it makes that loud noise to where you can hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you heard it for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, so come to find out, this person was about to go to a place to like
sell it,
get money.
Yeah, I remember that
because he didn't pay us
he
yet.
He didn't have the funds to pay us, and we were there for 3 days.
3 days.
We were there doing a bunch of stuff.
So we were trapped.
Bro, I would have walked.
Wild. We should do a whole series on like all the stories that we've had, because that would be hilarious. So
GNWY After Dark.
Yes. That'd be dope. We can have Stuart make a really R&B feel track for our After Dark series. Cool.
He said,
cool,
yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Cool.
So
but yeah, he was gonna hawk that thing.
It was hilarious. What is one phone gonna do to pay our?
And why would he choose your phone? Well, you had just bought that phone. It was a new phone. It was like the newest iPhone.
Still, that's not gonna be enough, bro. Come on now, you gonna do that and sell one of your kids? Come on, you better.
Maybe. No.
Better not. So I think that like just your story in general is amazing, and everything to come that we are doing and growing into is going to be amazing as well. Yes. I'm really grateful that you've been a part of the team, yo.
Thank you.
And it's been a journey. So
thank you. I am grateful to be part of the team. This has been
gang
some of the best times of my life.
Hey, let's go.
I know what I want to say about my favorite experience, like with a student.
Yeah.
And I can't sum it up into one, but I can say that anytime a student who is not confident in themselves comes up to me and says that I have brought them confidence and allowed them to view themselves in a better light and to really pursue a journey of actually loving themselves, that means more to me than anything.
Yeah.
Because I talk about it. I haven't always been confident in who I am, but I recognize that I can't fully like preach, or I can't fully talk about mental health and really loving yourself while secretly hating yourself.
Right.
And I can't, like, it feels so disingenuous. And so I had to decide that this is who I am. This is like where I'm at in my life, and I can either stay miserable and accept that society doesn't necessarily like who I am, or I can love myself, be my number one supporter, because nobody else. You're with yourself 100% of the time. Yeah. So why stay miserable with yourself?
Right. Definitely.
That was really the thought. Why stay miserable with yourself? So
yeah,
I started a self-confidence journey, and it made me who I am today, which is really confident. Yeah.
You do get a lot of the students that are like struggling with like the image part of themselves, and they like see how confident you are and you loving yourself and all that kind of thing, and they love that. And they're just like, dang, I want that. Yeah. And sometimes, KiKi, I want that, okay? I just want to walk up on stage, flicking my hair around, and just love myself.
What's stopping you?
The hair. The lack thereof, for one. Two.
We can slap a wig on you, baby.
Bet. Say less.
Less.
Excellent. So, I think that is really dope though. You do get quite a bit of students that do.
Yeah. And it's not even just like people who don't look like societal's standard for beauty.
Yeah.
I get people who you would think would be very confident in themselves, and they're like, "How are you like this?"
Yeah.
Because I choose to be.
Mm.
That's a choice you have to make. Like it doesn't.
Right.
It's not going to naturally spring out of you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You have to
definitely.
choose to love yourself. You have to choose to say that I accept who I am. I love this body. This body has literally brought me through.
Yeah.
Everything I've been through.
Right.
Like.
And that's dope too, because like even this is something that we can expand on like later, even in maybe a talk or something like that. But like, you know, the whole part of choosing to love yourself.
Yeah.
It's even shorter than that. It's just choosing you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because like there's so many choices out there. You can choose to be somebody else. You can choose to whatever, but you choosing you every morning is what we need to be able to get to. You know? And you just, I choose you. You know what I'm saying? You walk in the mirror and be like,
good.
I choose you.
Because I do.
And
I wake
whenever
up every day
point
and
at
I choose
Nikira
myself.
and I wake up and look in the mirror, I have a picture of you.
I choose you.
It's like I could change my.
Okay, did you
You're
watch?
a Pikachu of mine. I choose you.
You can't see it, you guys, but I just got a Pikachu tattoo.
You did?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I showed you.
You did. You did. You did.
I showed you. It's the shocked Pikachu face.
That's amazing. Yeah.
No,
but that's real though. Like you choosing yourself.
Choosing yourself, and that literally that is definitely something that I say to those girls or people who come up to me afterwards, and they're like, "How do you do it?" Mm-hmm. And I tell them, like, at first I had to fake it. Like I had to set up cards and say that this is what I want to view myself as. Yeah. This is what, like, I view myself as this. I view myself as this. And when you do that, everything else, like all the other choices that you have to make throughout the day that affect you, you will subconsciously start choosing yourself in those situations and choosing what's healthiest for you. Yeah,
definitely. It's just speaking those words that is actually true over yourself.
Like I said,
but
you say,
you have to accept
you attract.
Those things. Yeah.
That has to do with everything in your life. What you say, you attract.
Whether you say it about yourself or you say it toward other people, you know what I'm saying?
Period.
People be gossiping too much, bro. Like what? And that's where you bring in what you attract.
Yes.
You want to stop gossiping, don't hang around them.
That's true.
Or don't do it.
Or stop it.
Right. And that's what the power of your words that come from, you know. So it is what it is. But
I will say I do have a soft spot for drama when it comes to reality TV.
Yeah. I think hearing it's one thing than speaking it, right?
Speaking it, that's very different, yeah.
So everything stops and starts with you, right? That's what we'd say. I say that at assemblies as well.
Period.
Stops and starts with you. Excellent. That's real.
That is real.
Because
so essentially, you're the only person that you can change.
Facts.
You can't force anybody else to change.
You cannot. You can inspire
yourself.
them to change, but you cannot change somebody else.
Yeah.
It's real.
That is real.
Is there any more nuggets of wisdom that you would like to share with the people? Do you have something that you want to inspire to that lost kid out there that doesn't understand themselves, that doesn't really accept themselves, that's not choosing themselves? Is there something you would like to say, KiKi, to that one person out there?
Yeah.
Tell them about it.
Right now, we live in a culture of self-deprecation where that is a really funny punchline. But the more you start doing that, the more you're going to believe it in yourself. You are not trash. You are more than what society says that you are. You have so much potential to reach all those dreams and aspirations that you want. You just have to choose it. The only thing that ever stops you is you. There's definitely circumstances where it comes in, but at the end of the day, we can choose whether we want to sit in it, stay hurting yourself, going over whatever you're replaying in your mind, or you can choose to say, that's not who I am, that's not who I want to be, and I'm no longer going to look at myself like that.
That's real. That's good. Yeah. I like that. Okay, very nice. I like that about you. Yes. Thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything that you have done and contributed to Generation Y.
Time out.
Oh,
We didn't talk about North Dakota.
what about it? The time where you were
The
almost
scariest.
wrecked.
Yeah, the scariest moment. That probably was.
That
the
was the most terrifying moment.
So we're
Ended on this story.
ending on this story.
I feel like we need like horror music.
Yeah. You hear that, Taylor? Put some scary music in the background. Maybe. Okay. Just foghorns in the back. That's what that sounds like. What the heck? North Dakota's in the middle of the country. There's no bays next to it. Stop. Oh my gosh. So we had just
that was 1,000 years in
by
a
Christina
horror,
Perry?
in a horror film. Did you hear that? You didn't hear that, did you?
How did anybody hear that through your
I don't know
whale
how I thought
sounds?
about that. Whale sounds. That was an amazing horror thing. How would you do a horror soundtrack?
I think that music. No, I don't think music creates like horror anticipation for me. It's the lack of sound. Whenever it gets really quiet in movies, I know something messed up's about to happen, and that's just coming from like
Trauma.
no, from learning it through it from sound engineering.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
just be quiet for like 10 seconds, and then we'll see what happens. How you feel now?
Well, peaceful because I am not in a horror movie.
Rats. Anyways, North Dakota, go.
We were up there for the state convention. We stayed at a really dope hotel.
Sorry.
We were staying in a really dope hotel. It had a water park on the inside.
It was lit.
It was fun, and we were really tired. And then Jordan decided it'd be best if we left that night.
It's always best to leave in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night, in the middle of North Dakota, where there's nothing.
For 3 states.
For 3 states. It's just rolling plains and darkness. At least until the sun comes up.
It's a good idea. In theory.
And driving, like where we were, there's no like main highways. There was no main highway to get there. We had to take a lot of back roads to get to this town before we got to. It's like an hour and a half of like back roads where there's nothing.
Bismarck, their capital of North Dakota, is like the size of
Shawnee.
Yeah, that's the capital of their state.
Yeah,
Shawnee.
Nobody's gonna get that except
you hear
for
that?
anybody that lives in Oklahoma.
You hear that, Taylor? Shawnee.
Nobody's gonna get that. And everybody else was really tired, but I'll go ahead and take the first leg. I have insomnia, so I was like, I can do it, and I did. And we were driving.
Barely.
We're driving, right? There's a sign.
You were driving,
okay.
yes.
We.
Not all of us had a hand on the wheel.
We should have. So I'm driving.
The wheels on the bus.
Everybody else is sleeping. Erin had just fallen asleep. She was in the front seat, and Tris, AD, not
Eric.
Tris. It was Eric.
Oh, yeah,
Eric,
yeah.
AD, and you were in the back, and we're going. And it was 60 for a long time. There was no sign or no anything warning of a very sharp curve happening, and it was either that or run off into like you can't see. I had no idea what was back there because there's no lamps. There's no nothing.
Lamps.
There's literally street lamps.
What?
What do you guys call it?
What do you? I call it street lights.
It's the same thing.
Lamps, though.
Yeah, street lamps.
I've never heard it called just lamps. I'm thinking of your grandma's.
Like those ones that are like stained glass, just lining the roads.
Somebody's out there just plugging in lamps and changing out the light bulbs.
That's their job. They just continually do that. Oh gosh. Anyways, there's no street lamps out there, and we all of a sudden we hit this curb, and I am thinking in my mind, I can either wreck us.
Which would have been a good idea.
I can either wreck us, or I have enough defensive driving training that I know, like, in a situation like that you take your foot off the gas, you pump the brake, and you turn the wheel sharply wherever you need to turn, and it'll happen. Like, you'll be fine. Which is what happened. We didn't crash into anything. It was a hard stop.
I did.
It was a hard stop, which caused Jordan.
I'll tell my perspective of it.
Because your perspective is so dramatic compared to what actually happened.
I make everything dramatic.
Jordan acts like he almost lost his life.
Bro, my neck.
Were you seated correctly in the car?
None of us were. Listen, I'm in the back. I'm in the wear a seatbelt, please. I was in the back of this 15-passenger van.
You weren't in the back. You were in the front.
Very back seat, and sawing logs, the whole thing. Anyways, obviously no seatbelt because I'm trusting Nikira to drive with all the street lamps that are around.
That are not there.
Anyways, so I'm laying there.
We drove 2 minutes outside the city and there was
doused like this, okay? I have no pillow, so my neck's just, okay? And then all I feel in the middle of my dream of whatever I was dreaming, just woken up by a smooth back seat of the back seat. And then I just barrel roll into right into the back of the thing. And then I'm just joggled with my neck. And I'm like, wow, I'm so surprised this is still attached. But then I look up and see, like, I go, huh, what happened? And then you scream at me, there's no lights. We almost crashed. I was obviously, golly.
There was not even like a street sign that said that there's a sharp curve. It was just the headlights hitting that curve and me going.
That was the only grace that I could have given you because there was nothing that she had no warning. There was no warning at all.
There was no warning. It was very scary.
But it was amazing. But I think like Paramore was blaring in the speakers or something. Was
100%. You'll know that I'm driving if it's
2000's
emo. Hamilton?
Hamilton, yeah. That.
Hamilton will keep me awake because I can recite the whole thing, and if I'm talking, then I'm fine.
The whole thing.
So whenever everybody goes to sleep, I just will literally go through that whole album.
Blare it.
Talk to myself. You don't care, you're asleep.
Sometimes I'll wake in and out, and you're going, hi, that's how it goes.
Does it?
Hamilton.
I'm so sorry, Lin-Manuel Miranda, that he just disrespected your name like that.
Know
that it's not coming from me. The utmost respect, my guy.
Don't drink it yet.
I can't.
No.
I can't.
No.
I'm just going to wait till after.
Excellent.
There's no way.
That's a good idea. Nikira, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having
me.
You
have an amazing story, but you also have great resilience in anything and everything that you do. So I really appreciate it. One more time for the one time. So if you can, just say peace out to the people, okay? And yeah, so.
People, it is now the summertime. Be sure to reapply your sunscreen.
Moisturize and wet your lips. What did you say earlier?
I said moisturize your skin and keep your lips hydrated because we are no longer accepting your crusty, dusty selves.
You
mentally
ain't cute.
And physically.
You look dusty.
Cute. You look dusty.
That's amazing.
Don't do it.
Thank you so much
real,
one more time.
Reapply every 2 hours if you're going to be in the sun. Metastatic melanoma is a thing.
Make that a saying. Reapply or
die.
Oh.
Period.
Excellent. Thank you so much, KiKi, for coming through. You are amazing, and we're gonna ride out to this beat right here. So, thank you so much, KiKi.
Yes. So long, guys.
We'll see you next time.